So I believe that everything that keeps you trapped is making you gay actively. So you have to avoid things, or you have to escape things that give you the feeling that you're actually trapped in a place where you don't want to be. Either a friendship, a job, a place, whatever that might be. And in the last year or so, I started feeling like I don't really want to live in the West anymore. And thus, I made the decision to shortly after this video move to Eastern Europe, back to Eastern Europe where I come from. Originally, I come from Macedonia. That is why the channel is kind of named in a way that symbolizes Macedonia. I didn't want to live in the West anymore. I feel like I miss a good amount of things that are happening in Eastern Europe where I come from, and thus I'm gonna go there and try to live again in the east of the world, because I feel like the West is really just not for me anymore, and I'm not really sure how the future is gonna unfold here in the West, even though the East is a lot poorer on average, so we'll see about that. But that is my personal thing. I'm gonna move back to Eastern Europe. But for you, what does this video has to represent to you? The idea, the philosophy behind this is that in your life, you're gonna feel trapped by many things. You're gonna feel like there is no escape from some bad friendship that you feel is getting toxic, or maybe a relationship, maybe you think your partner is cheating or whatever, or maybe a place, you live in a poor place, or a society where you feel like you don't belong to, or a unsafe place with a lot of violence, or maybe a very corrupt place. So you have to move away. That is the whole point behind this video. I'm trying to give you the courage, the empowerment if you want. That sounds a little corny, but if that is what you get from this video, so be it. I want you to feel empowered, to feel courageous, that you can move away from these things, from places, from relationships, and so on and so forth. As a man, if you feel trapped by something that doesn't have physical like chains around you, then you're fucking gay, man. You know, I believe as a man you should feel free to do whatever you want. Most of the times your needs, your desires, your ways of sorting out things in your head will not align with those of the societal expectations. You know, the society will expect something different from you. If you feel like the next step you're willing to make doesn't really align with the expectations of the society, with the expectations of the people around you, then I even think that it should make you even more inclined towards that decision, because it comes purely from you. It comes purely from your desires, your needs, your like human intelligence and human soul working towards that step. There is a reason why you want certain things. Now I'm talking very generally, very broadly here, and you might find yourself in these ideas of mine that I'm presenting to you. And if you find yourself, that is very good. Then you are working towards something. You're actively willing, you're actively trying to make progress towards something in your life that is probably not as socially acceptable or socially awaited from the people around you, or the society, the culture around you, you might say. Maybe that is a untraditional path of living your life. Maybe that is moving away to a poorer place, like I will do very soon. I will move to a place that is poorer, that has less economical opportunities, but I still will do it because I feel like my soul is seeking for it. I feel like I need to move back to the place where I come from. I feel like I want to feel home and be at a place that I call home. So that is why I kind of turn down the noise around me, and maybe I'm making the mistake, objectively speaking. Maybe I'm making a mistake that I might regret down the road, or maybe that will hurt me short term, you could say. But regardless of all of it, I'm listening to my guts, I'm listening to my soul, I'm listening to that inner voice of mine inside of me, and I'm pulling the trigger. I'm doing exactly what people around me would not do, or maybe not everybody, but let's say the majority of people around me would not do. And this is not to be special or to be the unique snowflake. What I'm trying to say is not that you should do something stupid just to be different or to be unique. That is not the point. The point is to do something that you feel is right for you. even though it doesn't make sense to most of the people you're gonna tell it to. That is the way I'm trying to enlighten you. You have something inside of you that is pulling you on one side, and then the society is pulling you on the other side. You have to be courageous enough. You have to grab yourself by the balls and go to the side that your soul is leaning towards. If you feel like your job is draining you, if you feel like you want to live in Africa for 6 months, then go hustle for a while. Book a ticket to fucking Botswana or Morocco or Egypt or Ethiopia, I don't know where you want to go. And just go there for a while. Like, if that is really what you want, like, of course, you have to really study it through and not go off of it fully emotionally without using any logic in the process. I think there should be a balance between you evaluating these things emotionally, but also you evaluating these things rationally and logically, because you don't want to go to a Colombian favela and, you know, get raped there. I mean, it's not really what you're seeking after, I believe. So you have to be careful what you want to do. And again, this was a very broad example, but there are plenty of these. Maybe you don't like the job, maybe you don't like the place. Again, relationship, situationship, whatever it might be. Bro, just leave it behind. Don't make these things trap you. Don't feel like you have no way to escape them. Be courageous. You have to believe you're here for a reason. I don't know if you're an atheist, if you believe in God, whatever religion you follow, whatever it might be, you should believe that you are here for a reason, that you have a place on this planet. You have to be somewhere, you have to achieve something, you have to seek something, you have to run towards something. You have to deeply believe it, and if you believe it, something will eventually come to your mind that will feel like is leading you towards the next level of your destiny, if you might. Take matter in your own hands. Try to make the most out of life. Try to feel as free as possible and follow your own bliss. Again, we've talked about this in some other videos. I want you to really feel this in your bones, that you should not be trapped by anything, by anyone. If you have two functional balls between your legs, you have no excuse, bro. You have literally no excuse. You have to feel free to do whatever you need to do, even if that thing is gonna lead you to a disaster later on in life, because at the end of the day, you followed your bliss. You followed what you believed was true to you. Don't live this synthetic life. Don't live this fully optimized routine where you work in 9 to 5, you go to the gym, you count your calories, you do your meditation, you do your journaling, you do your 10,000 steps, and you just repeat it 5 days a week. And then in the weekend, you don't know what the fuck you want to do. Because for 5 days straight, you've been on co-pilot mode. You haven't really used your brain. You haven't thought about the activities you're doing, you were just doing them. And sometimes it might be fine, but when you fully optimize and when you fully automatize your day-to-day life, it becomes a problem. It is very soul-sucking. I've lived a chunk of my life when I was going to school and later when I started doing my job. I was so optimized that there were moments when it would feel like it is Monday and then I go to sleep and it's Friday. Like 4 or 5 days would just go straight by because I was doing the same thing every day. I didn't have time to really look around what I'm doing and to really analyze if what I'm doing was actually right for me. I was kind of trapped, but I didn't really realize it. But then when I cut my working hours by half pretty much, I very quickly realized how boring, how wasteful almost my life became. I was just working, training, reading sometimes, working a little bit on my side hustle. And that was it. Like, it was all I was doing. My life felt like a flat line. So that is why I'm living this trap. That is why I'm going loose. I'm picking the rocky road and I'm going straight back to Eastern Europe, where life in general is gonna be harder, but at least I'm gonna feel like I'm home, and at least I'm gonna feel like I'm doing something for myself here, even though if that something doesn't lead to anything at the end. And of course, from every experience, even though it might be disastrous or it might not turn out the way you want it to, you're still gonna get some value out of it. You're still gonna learn something. You're gonna mature faster and you're gonna realize things that you didn't before because you were living in a bubble the whole time. I was thinking to make a video about why I'm living the West, because there are many factors, you know, some social factors, actually mostly social factors, but I'm probably not gonna do it. I'm just gonna mention it here in this video that I'm moving back to Eastern Europe and that I'm leaving the West behind. and we will see how that is gonna turn out. But I felt like I was almost trapped here, and I felt like this is almost taking my manhood in a way. I can't really explain it, but I felt like I'm a goy and I'm just getting milked day in, day out. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna try something by myself. I'm gonna try to use my head and try to punch through the wall, I guess. But in a way, it didn't really seem smart to choose what I'm choosing right now. But I feel like it's the right choice. I feel like it's the right thing to do. And we will see how it's gonna turn out. But I'm very happy. I'm very keen. I feel alive. That is what I'm trying to say. It's been a while that I felt this lively and this much energy was passing through my body. I feel like I'm alive right now. This decision really just woke up something in me. I feel like something is on the line finally. I feel like something is going on and I'm gonna fight for something. I'm gonna try to build something for my own. And we will see how it's gonna unfold. Only God knows, but it is important to pull the trigger. That is what we're talking about today. So yeah, if you're trapped, untrap yourself. Do whatever it takes to feel free again, to feel like you can move pieces on the board without giving a fuck. This is gonna be easier if you're younger and if you're like alone, if you still don't have a girlfriend or kids. If you have those things, it might get a little trickier, but again, even in that case, you shouldn't feel trapped. You shouldn't feel like life has ended for you or that there is no more moves to be made. So yeah, bro, trust your guts. Especially if you're young, if you're around 20, you have plenty of time in front of you. You have plenty of opportunities to fuck up and then correct the mistakes. So yeah, good luck to you.